Hello and welcome to Distance Learning Week 2. This is the end of Unit 3, Political Parties. This week's agenda, you'll be watching this screencast 2, and follow along with the slides. You'll complete Task 3, which is due Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. It's an outline. Then complete Task 4, which is the summative assessment for this unit, which is due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Let's take a look at Task 3. First of all, before we do this, if you want to go ahead and open up the rubric, you can access the rubric for the summative assessment here or on Google Classroom. Once you have that open, go ahead and come back to this slide. Excellent. So we're going to open up the argumentative essay outline by clicking here. I already have it open up here, which I'm going to go to. You can access this again on Google Classroom, or you can use the slides, follow the link, and make your own copy. Let's go ahead and read the instructions. Number 1 is going to be determine what sources you want to use for the essay. Okay, well, if I want to know exactly how many sources I need to use for the essay, I'm going to go ahead and look at the revised rubric here. It says here, sources. Essay utilizes at least 3 of the sources. All right, so if I want the most amount of points possible, then I need to use at least 3 sources. Also, see here, underline, that means it's important that the essay needs to be 4 to 5 paragraphs if I want full points. Clarity, also it needs to clearly demonstrate 2 sides of the question. Okay, that is something that is in the outline. And then there needs to be a clearly stated main claim. And it needs to directly address the prompt. Okay, so our prompt, as we know, is our essential question. And we can access that by checking out the revised sources of the political parties unit that we're doing right now, which is the inquiry question, to what extent do American political parties represent the views of their constituents and influence political participation? By now, we've worked with this question enough to know that it is a 2-part question, and it's going to be important to get full points. In order to get full points, you need to answer both parts of that question and look at their relationship. All right, next, after you've determined what sources you want, we know that we need at least 3 sources. And here in the outline, there's paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so as long as we follow this outline, we use 3 sources. We have a direct main claim. And that main claim fully addresses the prompt, then there's no reason why anybody should not get full points on this. All right, let's review the outline. Let's see what we need to do here. It says, ideally, you want 1 sentence per number. That is going to go for all of these, except for the few parts that say can be more than 1 sentence. That is to make sure, the reason is so that way we are as direct as possible in our writing and we avoid going on tangents or unnecessary loopholes. So, as you can see here, the introductory paragraph has a hook, claim 1, a counterpoint. Recall, this is going to be important because it says in clarity in the rubric that the essay clearly demonstrates 2 sides of the question. So whenever we're creating our argument, we need a claim, a counterpoint, and then a rebuttal, or claim 2. Claim 2 is essentially going to be a rebuttal. And then your thesis. Once we have our introductory paragraph, which as I mentioned before is the most important paragraph in any essay, then we can go into writing our body paragraphs. As you see here, paragraph 2, support claim 1. Paragraph 3, counterpoint. Paragraph 4, support claim 2. And paragraph 5 is going to be your conclusion. There is space here. Also, if you want to add in an additional supporting claim, it's totally fine. All right, so if you want to review this outline more, go ahead and pause. I'm going to continue on. Next is write your main claim or your thesis. Now, I totally understand that a lot of people have a hard time doing this first off in their writing, and if that's your process right now, totally get it. But in the future, you may want to start working towards being able to articulate exactly what it is you want to communicate prior to getting into your writing. And then it becomes an editing process where you then change what your thesis was after you've already thought about it a lot. All right, next you're going to write your claims and your counterpoint in the introductory paragraph. How you're going to do that is, and it doesn't have to be exactly what's going to be in the essay right now. Right now we're just kind of brainstorming and making sure we know what to do. So if I was to pay attention right here, this is all I'm looking for whatever you're turning in. How I did that was I just pressed enter and then tab and then create some kind of claim or something that you want to say. So for claim 1, I can say that the two major political parties do not represent independent voters. And thus, many independent voters will not vote in the upcoming election. Okay, so it doesn't have to be this. It can be whatever you want it to be. But each of these should have something in there. Moving on, paragraph 2, it's going to look about the same. You're going to have a topic sentence, which is going to look similar to whatever your claim was in the introduction. Write something in there. And use supporting evidence. This is where you're going to look to see what source you want to use. So this is where you can make a note like, okay, I want to use source D for this. Or, okay, why is it important? And then explain why. Finally, you're going to want to connect whatever it is you're saying back to your thesis. How does it relate? So this is the model, of course, with actual content that you'll be turning in. Next, go ahead and take a look at the sentence starters for argumentative writing and the transition words and phrases. Try to use at least a few of these whenever you're writing your essay. Okay, and back to the slides. Remember, just give yourself about an hour to complete this. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to be writing a rough draft. That's not what I'm looking for. Just some general brainstorm. Try to focus mostly on the introduction here. And then turn it into Google Classroom by Tuesday, April 28th at 11:59 p.m. All right, now we're going to look at the argumentative essay. Here is a document starter for the essay. This is also in Google Classroom if you'd like to use that. Name and period at the top. Instructions. Number 1, review the rubric for this assessment. Now, we've already done that together briefly. But go ahead and take a look at it again just so you know exactly what you're going to be graded on. Next, you're going to review your outline. Take a look at what your outline said. And honestly, if you're working on a computer, you may be able to copy and paste a lot of it. That's generally what I do when I start my writing process. Then you're going to write your essay below using the outline. Try to keep your writing time within 1 hour. I know a lot of you prefer to have extra time, and if you want to take it, that's totally fine. But I'm going to be grading these as if you had written them within an hour, so just keep that in mind. That said, there's no need to write a rough draft and a final draft. Just write this one timed piece of work. Give yourself about an hour. Then you're going to turn it in to Google Classroom by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. And that will be it. I should be able to get everyone's essays back to them within a few days with commentary and notes, everything like that. Also, that said, if there's any specific questions you have for me about your writing or about this unit, about this course in general, go ahead and put them in your argumentative essay at the end. So in here, whoops, after you write your essay, just make some note, do this, and ask me a question, and so that way I can help you out. As a note, just so you're all aware and I can be as transparent as possible, this is going to be my last week with y'all. My student teaching assignment is ending along with every other student teacher in Sweetwater District because of the distance learning and everything like that. We are no longer required to complete more hours. I simply wanted to finish out this unit with you all before saying goodbye. So thank you. I hope you stay safe out there and don't be afraid to reach out.